Hello everyone, welcome back to a game on this wonderfully red desert planet today. So we've got 4 on 4 today, and we've got an eclectic mix of ratings, and that's because this is going to be on the 4v4 team matchmaker. Now this map doesn't have a name, so I'm going to call it Depression Desert. We've got some mountains in the middle. Look, we've got a couple of ponds. They are probably not deep enough to do anything with realistically in this map. These ones, on the other hand, I think you can hide a common there. Probably, so see if those get used. Let's let our players build their bases very quickly, and then we can have a look at what they're up to. Well, we have a first bomber coming out of archsimkat here. Now, Arch is one of the is a very long-standing player involved in the development of the game. And where is he going to be going with this? Well, he's scouting with the scout, and he should be going for this clump of engineers, really. Is he going to get that? Yes, he is. Did Gibbo manage to dodge? No, he didn't. He got firebombed there. Absolutely brutal. So, Gibbo up here, our lowest rated player on Team 1 at 1603. Now going for one of Bury the Lights engineers, but he's on dodging duty, and Rezy-Noob already sticks out an Inti. Sorry, what am I talking about? An AA here. So that's probably going to ward off this bomber and be the end of that initial aggression. Can it get one more? Yes, it can. Nice pickup there. So probably worth it. Crippled his opponent there from Arch. So Arch, after going for that first bomber build, he's turned to sending his air factories, making engineers. Now he's going to be going land. He's got all of these mexes here. We should put him... Has he got more? Yeah, he should have more than his opponent, right? I feel like this is the carry slot here. He's got more mexes, I think. 5, 10, 5, 10, 4, 3. Actually, maybe not. It's kind of even. At the front, in the highest rated player... One of the highest rated players in the game, actually, is Blodir. Tournament champion previously. Dangerous, dangerous player. And if you're playing this guy, like a lot of the other players who are very high rated, they like to just macro the game out. But Blodir is not afraid to make mass arty and bomb and nukes and other such game enders. So be wary of that. At the bottom, we've got ergodic. And I don't know if he's parodying a certain Turkish leader, but strolling out of his base here at 1300, lowest rated player by a considerable margin. And their air player at the back in regal blue or honor blue, it's going to be Knightly. He's playing Seraphim, and he already has the T2 mechs. Look at that, greedy boy. Team 1's air player, that's going to be Bury the Light, and he also has one T2 mechs and a second one well on the way there, look. We've already looked at Gibbo, and that just leaves MacroNoob, who is absolutely not a noob in any way. And Rezy-Noob. So I don't know why the SNF clan always put noobs in front of their names. It's quite frustrating. Neither of them are noobs. We just have to let them get away with it. The same way we let all the players change their names every 5 minutes. It is what it is. So, ergodic going to test out the water. Heading into that pool for a dip. Very nice. And Blodir going for an early gun upgrade. He's assisting that, so that's costing a lot of E right there. He does have the E to do it, but I think that's only because he's stalling mass. No. Yeah, he can't put as much. He can't put the mass into it because he's stalling, so that saves him on the E. Okay. A very dangerous looking 3 ACU pickup here, and this is a manual reclaim rather than a patrol. So interesting that nobody has really made a play up here for these 4 mexes at all by 5 minutes. Whereas down here, ergodic has actually been quite aggressive. He's making a play. He's got lots of tanks. He's spamming like it's a 1v1. Look at him all the way around this mechs. He's playing full ladder mode, bless him. Picking up the mexes. taking that map control. Gun range speed completes for Blodir. And Rezy tells Blodir to change the waypoint for his air factory, I suspect because it was just sending inties straight in. And nightly control Ks, which is always fantastic when you start a replay. So that's going to hand the double base over to Blodir. And it's going to leave a gaping hole in the front here for these 3 ACUs to walk in should they choose. And everyone starts discussing whether there should be a draw. Which, you know, probably they could, right? Arch agrees to a draw. Blodir manages to win air here. Clearly, changing the rally point was the one thing he needed. Look at his inties chasing. Looks like this huge pack of Mantis will be enough to fend off Ergodic here, who is on a gun upgrade. And Blodir has decided to just take things into his own hands here, and YOLO with all of his units. All of his factories are producing units here, and he's just going to push. And I think that's pretty sensible because the game seems kind of doomed, really. Rezy-Noob is going to do a Hannibal and come over the mountains to try and cut off Blodir. Bomber's trying to defend, but Blodir has air, so that's not going to work. And the gun upgrade going to start cutting into Gibbo's forces here. This is looking very dangerous. Tech 2 probably for gunships. I mean, he could potentially make mercies here. This is a pre-patch game. Gibbo starting to lose mexes. He has 4 factories coming. He's building energy storage for overcharge. He has double gun though, actually. That's very smart. Double gun could be absolutely critical here. On the bottom, Ergodic is going to push, and these 3 ACUs just not really going forwards or going back. They're all kind of like going in different directions. It's not very decisive. 3 energy storages were made, but it looks like they're all going down. And Gibbo decides to retreat to protect his base, which really he's already lost. I feel like YOLOing after Blodir's comm would be the best move at this point. He's going to lose all his mexes here to this. And while this is happening, keep an eye on Ergodic's comm on the map. He is pushing with gun here. And that looks like it's being quite effective. He's pushing all those Mantis back. And MacroNoob's ACU is in the middle, unable to defend. Almost every mech's lost here. And with the ACU comes back to defend the mexes which are already lost. Blodir goes to push for the production. Rhino's out on the field. Ergodic not taking any damage. I still feel like he can push here and take this base. These on an attack move, or maybe a forced attack here. Taking out the PD, but now they really need to run and get in here. Arch has brought his comm as well, and he has gun. And both sides are pushing, and Team 1 is just collapsing here, despite the fact that the other team lost their air player. All that eco has gone into this push. Team 1 are collapsing. This is looking absolutely dire. Not even Beetles can save them at this point, surely. It's unironically why my rating is low in global, because every time I get Cybran, I force build Beetles and lose the game because of them. I just wish they were like Banelings, but they're not. So here goes the cutoff attempt with the Tech 2 units. And at the same time we've got gun here, so I'll just split it for you so you can keep an eye on this. Is Ergodic going to be able to get out? These bombs are going to do a fair bit of damage, I think. This tank actually conveniently protecting him from a lot of the splash there, but Now he has to overcharge these tanks. Does he have energy storage? He does have one. Meanwhile, on the top, things have kind of stabilized. That PD there. He might as well focus the ACU at this point. I think he's doomed. No overcharging. Ergodic, why?
Under attack.
Oh, he managed to let MacroNoob pull the Tech 2 tanks out as well. Very unfortunate for Team 2. But where does that leave the eco if we end this? Where does that leave our eco for today? Well, it's actually more even than you think, but the bottom team are ahead despite their enormous concave in map control. Gunship's inbound, going for MacroNoob. He didn't really take any damage though. If ergodic had managed to primary the ACU and focus him down and blow up the tanks, then this could have worked, maybe. Oh, now it's Blodir's turn to take a little walk in the pond. So Team 1 managed to stabilize. I do not know how they managed that. I think quick thinking by MacroNoob and a whole block of PD here by Rezy-Noob have managed to stabilize that. And now Team 1 have a lot of units, but nothing they can really do with them, which is not the best position to be in, because then you need to decide whether you want to reclaim them or not. This is illegal. This should not be allowed. The Aeon scouting party. Tech 3 Air is out, and that... Okay, no, Blodir also has T3 Air, as you would expect. He is a top player. Also making ASF. We've got Rhinos versus Tech 1 here. That's going to go well for the Rhinos. But there are some pillars in the mix. Forcing the Rhinos to retreat back down this ramp back to the pond. And behind them, the Tech 2 PD completes, which means they won't be able to come here without taking a whole bunch of shells to the face. That is the PD range. Oop. Quite a lot of damage, those Lobos, the UEF ones. High strike damage. Spectres inbound for Rezy-Noob. They're going to take out some PD, clearing the way for MacroNoob's ACU to advance. And where are they off to next? Well, down here. Air pressure going after the anti-air first. In come the ASF though, and that's going to be the end of those. A quick ASF versus Inti fight, but the ASF have more numbers, so not going to be something that Team 1 can challenge. And Bury the Light wisely withdraws his ASF. He says he has less. He does have less. In the middle we have a TML under construction, and that's just started to load. That has just started to load. What's in range of that TML? Well, a lot of mexes and the Tech 2 HQ, and there's no TMD on the field. Sorry, my mistake. One TMD on the field here, but that's not going to protect all these mexes, so potentially a lot of value in this TML available. Now Gibbo's patrolling his comm here. Look at those shiny underpants that the Aeons wear, the Speedos. Why are Aeon wear Speedos? I know they're canonically like, you know, a matriarchal society, but really forcing your comms to wear silvery Speedos? That's a little bit too much if you ask me. That ACU probably going to be able to deal with these Titans. Although, he didn't rebuild his energy storage, so if he was to get suddenly surrounded, he might have a very nasty surprise. In comes the first TML, and that's going to get shot down. Look at that. The Zapper unable to deal with it. 2 hits and still almost killed. Perfectly balanced, as all things should be. Yeah, Gibbo doesn't... I don't think Gibbo realizes he lost his energy storage. So if they rush him right now, he can definitely be killed by this. More TMLs inbound, and they are going after these mexes. That's an expensive loss. 1,000 mass there, loss per mex, basically. Especially if it doesn't leave reclaim, it's brutal. How much did it say? 900. Yeah, there you go. 900 for a mex. And landing a one here is actually almost another 1,000 with 3-4 tanks like this. Pillars are expensive. Another TML impact. That's 900 plus the storage is. So up to 2,200 mass killed on this TML. I remember you can just reclaim it. TML is very strong. If your opponent doesn't bother to defend. Oh, look at the response from Blodir. He's got 2 different groups of engineers working on TMD from 2 different places to cut that off. Meanwhile, the TMD working overtime, but it's not going to be enough to sort out the Vipers because their missiles all split. So, although I didn't realize that if it actually splits, if it splits just before target, it actually misses. Because they take time to come back on target. I had never realized that. 10 years of playing and watching FAF games, and I never realized the missiles did that. There you go. Defend it just before it hits the target and you can take no damage. Incredible. Okay, here's the big attack. There's still no energy storage for Gibbo. So, definitely available. No, why is he bringing these units back? Push. The combined push would be so much stronger. Here's a push towards the TML. Well, I guess we'll split for you. No, he backed out. He backed out. He can absolutely kill Gibbo's ACU here. No questions. If he walks under that shield, Gibbo's ACU dies. But, not choosing to do that today. Probably doesn't have the, you know... Arch probably doesn't have the perfect vision that we do. He probably assumes that there's a replacement energy storage somewhere. Although, he does see the entire base with this scout, which is an incredible scout. This is the money scout. Although, why would you with a Tech 1 and then a Tech 2? This is some amazing scout right here. He gets absolutely everything. All the mexes, all the tech, every single thing. So Blodir decided to concentrate his units down here because he's probably worried about this push. A counter TML would actually get rid of this. Up to 3,900 damage now. Did that just go backwards? I don't understand what happened to that missile. Are we going to see a push here, or is this just a repositioning? Boop. We've got bouncers in there, so that's gunship protection. MacroNoob standing here. Well, he's got gun and stealth. Remember, it is now a 4v2, so although Blodir and Arch have they have higher rating on average, the APM possible by these players combined is enough to bring them down. It is still a disadvantage. And walking into this bank of PD and that many rhinos is not an appetizing thing, to be quite honest, even with pillars. Pillars are strong, but no. The Rhino is still a lot tougher, and the money overcharge is possible here. The amount of overcharging that could happen could be disgusting. Blodir wisely turns around, and here comes a push through the middle. But Rezy has just finished Chrono, So that's gonna absolutely cripple this attack. And there's a big line of Tech 1 PD here now preventing that, so oof. Rezy farming up that veterancy on his ACU. The double gun. There we go. Eco-wise, things looking dead even. 650 eco each. Although Team 2 down here still with a slight advantage in map control. A TML also here, and that's going to pick off these 4 mechs, which, to be fair, are almost completely undefended. I also think it can kill this one, which is a big pickup. Some disagreement in the chat about people making units. High-level players like to sit in eco and chill and don't like people making units, apparently. Now, I saw that a Fat Boy was under construction, and that leaves me very confused, because a Fat Boy is not particularly useful. Like, at this point, a chicken or a GC could win the game, but you can't win the game with a Fat Boy with this. Somebody will just make 3 or 4 arties under a shield, and the Fat Boy will die. So, not sure why the choice is a Fat Boy, but I think Arch might be a UEF faithful, like FTX and Comrade Striker, and the other UEF faithfuls in the game. They only play UEF to the bitter end, and that means they have to make Fat Boys, no matter how bad they actually are. This looks like a bit of a forlorn attack here as well. Straight into PD. There are bricks, but the bricks will die to the overcharge. MacroNoob won't get caught out by something like that. He's far too good of a player. Although he does only have 1 energy storage, so he can't instant kill the bricks. That push was perhaps a feint, because there's another push over here, but that's going to run into loyalists. And it's starting to look like Blodir's aggression is leaving a lot of reclaim here. I would leave the bricks on attack command maybe, and then protect them with the rest of the stuff. Ball of Restorers on patrol. They're grouping up, and they will become a real threat. The issue is that Bury the Light doesn't actually have air superiority, so they will need those to tank damage in order to keep air superiority, really, if they want to win it back. They have to use the Restorers to bait to fight, tank the damage, and then kill the other ASF with their own. But they're not the only people in their fight who will be using other units to tank shots. These inties are still hanging around, and they will take an ASF shot just the same as any other unit, so there we go. Fat Boy not even finished, and already hard countered by this small wall of artillery. Basically, it won't be able to kill that. Very unfortunate. If you see your opponent building a Fat Boy, just build 4 or 5 Tech 2 RTs. It'll only cost you like 1/3 of what the Fat Boy costs, and the Fat Boy won't be able to do anything. Of course, if you had made a chicken or something, then that would just walk straight through the space. It's a very aggressive brick here, wandering around. I kind of wish that they'd given the brick like an actual gun on it. The beams just seem to spawn from nowhere. Development team, please. You know what? This is what I should actually do. If I ever make money from advertising on YouTube or from a Patreon or something, I'm going to commission somebody to make a fucking gun for the brick so that it actually has something which does the shooting. I think that's a good use of my, a good use of some funds for FAF. It just looks like the pulses they fire spawn from the middle of nowhere. It's Arch, my man. This is a true UEF faithful. We are actually witnessing a true UEF Chad here. Walks forwards, starts building a Tech 2 RT in the middle of nowhere. TML is probably going to kill it. Right? No, it's going for the Mexes still. For the PD? So Blodir finishes a spider, starts on the second one, and that's because, my god, he's up to 852 eco at 25 minutes. I know I've said it before, but I will say it again. If you're playing against these players, you should expect them to make, like... They can have 1,000 eco in half an hour, and then they can make whatever they want. They can make a spider every 30 seconds if they want. If they put their eco into it. Little spider's sponsoon gun here, trashing that memo out. Is the fat boy going to finish? It does look like it will. But it's kind of hard to see that it would get anything done. Rezy is so confident that this 4 RTs is enough to shield him from the fat boy that he's just upping mexes on the front line. And this spider... This is where the next attack's going to be for the bottom team. They're going with the spider. Arch completes his fat boy. There's a lot of T3 units here. And these the little sponsoon guns are not going to be enough to... they are really not going to be enough to get rid of all of this. It's nice to see that Gibbo has actually come out of his base and cleared this. I'd really like to see him take them back, but the fat boy avoiding the RT base, the hard counter RT base, and coming around here, which is a pretty damn good plan, to be honest. But I feel like it might arrive after it's kind of over. This army is going to clash here. Even if they get pulled back, it's going to take a lot of damage from the crab. 4 pillars with a single hit. Crab is strong. The fat boy gets passed over, which means the shield blinks off temporarily. At the very least, the fat boy should be able to make units whilst moving. And when they spawn, they should have a follow path, like they should automatically spawn on a assist or follow command. So you can build shields out of it, or flak or something, whilst it's moving. I feel like that should be a bare minimum. To push on the top here, but I can't see it's going to get through this. You'd have to really commit more to get through there. And we will keep a track of how much this fat boy manages to do. It's shooing away Tech 1 engineers at the moment. There's no artillery, but smart players, they see a fat boy, they queue up some artillery, the fat boy is then useless. I feel like the fat boy is actually quite useful if you wanted to make your opponent waste a bunch of money. Build a fat boy, threaten with it, force like 10 RTs, reclaim it because you can't do anything with it, and then build another spider and use that. I feel like that would be a good plan. Let's do an ASF count because the eco is almost dead level. 115 for Bury the Light. Blodir 163, so that fight will go one way, only one way when it happens. Even if the gunships manage to do their thing. Oh no, it's going to get into range of the crab. It's going to die immediately. Yeah, you have to... oh no, who could have predicted that the fat boy would not win the game? Very sad. On the plus side, if he reclaims it... oh, nice pickup of some gunships there, but shoot away. I feel like taking that fight there would have been good, but there's just too many SAMs. Look at the SAM creep. So many SAMs. And now the crab's going to start punishing this army because it can push completely unimpeded. To quite static at the top here. No TMD. Oh, there is TMD. Sorry, I can't read my own icons. What a fool. So, triple spider push against this crab here. We should just move this up. In come the gunships. How much anti-air there is there? Well, there's quite a few flaks. The crab's actually focusing a changed target there. Those two Monkey Lord lasers really do punish that crab pretty hard. It gets a vet. It was very close there. Everything goes shaky over the damage. The Monkey Lord dies to the gunships. The flak shoo away the gunship. How many will he lose? Oh, he didn't lose any, but they're all so low. Look how low those gunships are. So lucky. Luck or maybe just skill. And here we go. There's a Tech 3 artillery on the field. And Blodir goes Tech 3 arty in this game. That was a terrible miss. But eventually, with no shields, this air grid is definitely going to get popped. Boop. Just not very much that Bury the Light can do about that at the moment. He'll just have to shield up and try to hold on. Boop. Oh man, there goes the air grid. His ACU is actually potentially under threat because he's got no shielding here. He's sitting here on an upgrade. A couple of shots here could be devastating. Look at this tasty reclaim. Oh yeah, boys. Suck it. So much reclaim here. 75k just in this little area here. And let's check things out. Eco is still dead even, but Blodir sitting on that 1000 eco is just... He's able to do whatever he needs with it. So if he feels like he needs to... he can defend at the front. If he wants more spiders, he can make them with all these T3 engineers. But he's putting his mass into this Tech 3 artillery at the back here. And heavy shield generators. He's got 2 already. 3 on the way. 4 on the way. And Team 1 don't have an answer to that. MacroNoob has its own spiders. And he has a crab. And he has this ACU here with stealth. This is quite a risky play actually, having this here. GC online for Gibbo. And no reaction from Arch. He has got no PD in here either. Only artilleries. I mean, it's not like a fat boy would be able to stop him, but I feel like we need to split for these two. This GC, there's no reaction. Arch, please, you're going to die. What are you doing, my man? He focuses the comm, he just right-clicks Arch's comm. He's going to get beamed in the face. The shield's going to give up. The engineers try to repair him. He moves the moment he gets the ACU under attack command, but it's too late. Doesn't get an overcharge off. And the GC's going to scroll on through. That's a disaster for Team 2 because they really needed this. They really needed this APM to kind of do stuff at the top and micro, because Blodir is very busy down here on this right-hand side battle. And remember, he's still micromanaging all the base. We've got a Soothsayer up for Bury the Light. That's fantastic. I love the Soothsayer. Rezy-Noob is going for strats, so he's trying to end the game against the artillery, which is pretty sensible. Playing against artillery is a huge APM sink, and not only that, but it's actually depressing as well. It's the real reason it's called Depression Desert. You get a turtley map, a little bit of choke points. People make artillery. Well, this is not looking good for Blodir now. The GC is moving in here. It can take the spiders. These strats going for the air grid. 1, 2, 3 bombs drop. The GC looks like it's going to die here without killing much. It does. I feel like he should have tried to focus on some of the eco or the anti-nuke. The front door gets pushed in, or rather the back door, I guess. What can MacroNoob see? Well, he can see the spiders. Protecting this spider with the crab is a great move. Just shielding it so it keeps its DPS. That's some outstanding micro. I don't know how much of that he deliberately... There's a fucking recall boat. They're trying to recall. Okay. They're trying to recall here, but MacroNoob's making good progress. He's got into the base here. There's no more... How much damage have they done? Well, they've dropped. They've gone ahead in eco, so they are doing economic damage. The crabs are still at full health, and it's just engineers, so... If he focuses the right targets here, the SMD's in range... A shift G here. Oh no, don't shift G the Perseus. The strats come in on the shift G Perseus. That's very painful. Overcome the ASF to defend, but they've already bugged out. They're already gone back home. Another crab on the way. Here comes the spider. If only this crab was focusing the spider, that would be a lot better. That's it. Remove the highest DPS needs to get removed. Ravager spam at the bottom. Engineers trying to build Ravagers. The target prioritizing of this crab is quite questionable, I would say, right now. Going for engineers, then a mechs. Then a mechs again. Gets taken down by Tech 1 bomber spam. Meanwhile, at the top, well, not very much happening. Gibbo slowly pushing with those sniper bots. But another crab arrives, flaks to here to back up the Tech 1 bombers. You can't really dodge Tech 1 bombers with the crab. So using it as a floating damage platform is not that bad. But I feel like spamming some Tech 1 units as well through would be great. Just artilleries. Yeah, Tech 1 artillery spam would really help with these crabs. Phew. What is the crab going for? The Ravagers? It's just on a move command. The target here is just outside of its thing, so now the guns have to retrain on something. What is it doing? Crab-chan, you're being retarded, please. It does start focusing on the Ravagers, but they've been allowed to blap so much damage at the crab, look. I can see a GC moving in the background, and in the just over there, teleporter started. The Percy spam is actually quite good against the crab. I'm not sure which wins. A crab or a crab's mass in Percy's. Probably not the Perseus if they kind of filter in one at a time like this and they go after the high health one. But they can confuse the targeting. There's a chicken here for Blodir moving in. That will be a problem for the crabs. And in comes Rezy. He's got his ACU here with his chrono. He's going to get focused by the Tech 1 bombers. He's playing a very dangerous game here. He doesn't have that much flak left. The overcharges are really strong though. Could this be what's needed to just tip the balance slightly? First crab dies to the chicken, but now the chicken gets primaried by the GC. He's going for his ACU, takes a big ball to the face there. But this looks like it's going well for Team 1. Small counter push up here, but it's not going to really do too much. We got those extra supporting units coming in now. Rezy's ACU is helping. Hopefully he doesn't die to the lightning storm. That would be very embarrassing for him. But perhaps too much PD here for this crab. It's not firing. Crabs do take quite a bit of micro. What is the artillery going for? Both players distracted slightly, I think, here. So this, the artillery tends to focus on SAMs if it destroys its target. And then after it destroys its target, if it loses what it's trying to do, then it tends to default to a SAM, which is not really fantastic. But that is how artilleries work. There was the teleport, we missed it. Bury the Light went in on Blodir's ACU, but he went too close to the PD. That was possible there. Not really a fan of how the chat messages, I'm missing those. That's very poor of me. Blodir in real, he's had the teleport at the back. He's got experimentals walking in the front door. This chicken's doomed. He has 2 more to support, but he's lost half the base. If only Gibbo could put on some pressure, but he's making a Tsar and using it as for defense right now. Rezy-Noob being an absolute baller. Look at him running in. Please don't die to the chickens, though, just overwhelming. And now I feel like he does need to run because those chickens will hunt him down and kill him for sure. Tsar transferred over. I don't think they have enough... I don't think they have enough air to win air to deal with it. Macro control Ks? Or did he get killed by artillery? Hard to say. His base is getting deleted, so I think he just gives up. But the game is not over. Well, everything gets transferred to Gibbo, so Rezy is going to suicide into the chickens here. There, he got 2 balls to the face at the same time. That is officially teabagged. This ACU gets teabagged, and he's out. All his units he forgot to give over here, and the game is now down to a 1v1 at 40 minutes. And technically, if we look at the ecos and the stats, Gibbo is ahead on mass, on income, on units, and on map control, but Blodir did crush him earlier, so that's going to be weighing heavily on his mind. I feel like they just saw this eco deposit here, the mass deposit, and give up. Also, you can't forget the... you can't really get over the demoralizing effect of this much artillery sync firing across the map. What do we mean by sync firing? Well, when it fires at the same time like this, the shields can't recover, so the first couple of shots take the shield, and then this one damages it before the engineers can rebuild or repair it. It's a very dangerous thing for your opponent to be doing. It looks like Gibbo's going for a last attack here with the Tsar. If he can get the Tsar onto the ACU, then he will win. But that's quite a big ask, I would say, I think. All his mass is going onto this Tsar. He's losing his base. But Blodir doesn't need to attack. He has the artillery. He's being a big turtle. So, there's a lot of SAMs here. So, if the ASF go in and die...
Strategic launch detected.
Well, he's finished a nuke. That is going... That's going up here. The ACU isn't here, but that's going for all of the production. The ASF come all the way around for the Tsar. Oh no, poor Gibbo. He got outplayed there. Not that Blodir really needed to do that, actually. He didn't even need to do that. He had numbers. And I think that will be it for Gibbo today. They were looking really dangerous. There's the control K. Yeah, okay. Team 2 pushed in, did a lot of damage, and then the counterplay back here took half the base, but it just wasn't quite enough to cripple the eco and the artillery. And Blodir manages to win out with his quad artillery cannons at the back of the base there. So Blodir going to take my MVP award today, not for that artillery shenanigans, but because of the decisive attack that he managed to do at the start of the game. I think that was really pivotal. He kind of saw they were down a player, there was a big threat in the middle, and he decided to take all his units and his comm and go and push all in, really. And the amount of damage that he did to the other team was absolutely horrendous. It put them behind for most of the game. There was a nice first bomber from Arch that did a fair bit of damage, but he's going to pick up my Derp award for dying to that GC there. Not really many excuses to let a GC walk right up to your face and beam you, even if you're DUEF. So those are the 2 awards for this game. I hope you enjoyed it. Not quite the sort of super epic down to a 1v1 that you would expect for a memecast, but still a good game nonetheless, and I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you next time. Thanks so much.